Hi, my name is Leah Day, and this weekend was Labor Day, and I spent my weekend cutting out and starting to sew together my next costume. I'm going to be Galadriel from Lord of the Rings, and this costume is a simplicity pattern. I don't think I have here it is. It's just a straight lace simplicity pattern number 1551. And it's got some, kind of interesting elements that really aren't very close to what Galadriel looks like in the movie. This is inside out, but basically right here on the neckline you've got kind of this like gauzy stuff that makes kind of this flowy gauzy kind of thing. I'm not real sure about that, and when I tried it on, I wasn't real fond of it, so I might end up cutting that off and just not having that right now. It's just basted in place. And I tried the dress on at the point of sewing the shoulder seams just to see how it was fitting, and I realized it was fitting a bit big. And I don't feel like I cut it out super huge. It's really just like maybe between sizes. I cut it out at a 14, and I think I'm somewhere actually kind of maybe a 13, and of course the pattern only has even numbers. So I've gone around and pinned and just tightened up the seams by 1/8 of an inch. And that might not seem like a lot, and when I posted a picture of myself in this dress on Instagram, people were like, tighten it up, and Josh is certainly thinking that I would be taking in the seams quite a bit more, but there's 7 seams. We've got the 2 princess seams in the front, 2 princess seams in the back, our side seams and our back seam. That's 7 seams. If you're taking off 1/8 of an inch per seam, that's almost an inch of space all the way around. And as you can see, as I tightened it up, it really started fitting a lot better. I ran out of pins, and I grabbed my quilting wonder clips. These are little clover clips, and decided to try those instead, and I really like those. I know I'm going to be picking up some more of those because they're holding the seam really nicely, but without having the pinholes. This is the first time I've worked with satin in about 10 years. The last time I made a satin dress was my wedding dress. So it's been quite an adventure and a really fun time. One thing that I got kind of confused about from the pattern was how to finish the seams. They kind of had a confusing list of instructions. They show the seams pressed open, but they mention stitching twice and zigzag stitching. I decided to do the same method I used on my wedding dress, which was to stitch the seam, then zigzag and trim close to the zigzag. And so my seams are going to end up being about 3/8 of an inch thick, maybe a little bit less than that, as I have to stitch my princess seams again now. So I might zigzag again and trim down further. I'm just going to have to wait and see. But you want to zigzag everything to finish it, just simply to stop everything from raveling and being really messy. You can see I've already started to get some raveling here on the sides. So those are, that's kind of where it's at right now. I, need to tighten it up. I need to stitch these seams again. I think I'm really leaning to taking off the fluffy part. I'm just not real into it. If you decide to do that, if you're making this pattern too and you decide that you really want that in the pattern, my best advice is to just really take your time. It's kind of all ruched up in here, and there was a lot of careful gathering. Just really take your time with that. Baste by hand before sending it through your machine, and this stuff is it's like butter. It just wants to go all over the place, so try and control it in any way you can. So I'm having fun with it. It's been an adventure, and I can't wait to show you what it's going to look like when it's all done. Until next time, let's go make something beautiful.